Legacy, 2019, Parent's Guide. Sex and Nudity, 6/10. Some graphic and explicit sexual talk and references throughout. It is mentioned that a woman performed oral sex on a judge to get her husband out of prison. A sex tape of two men plays in a movie theater without either of their consent. We see these two men and they are shirtless, and one man asks another if he wants to do the 69 or a Cleveland steamer, to which the man replies that he wants both at the same time. We cut away to the audience who watches in disgust as we hear defecation sounds play from the video. One of the men in the video is in the cinema, and he chases his wife outside, who is of course leaving out of shock, horror and disgust. Out of fear, a man mentions that he enjoys performing oral sex and swallowing semen, specifically that of black men. A woman tells a man to get his cock out. Nothing happens. A woman is about to perform oral sex on a man. Before anything can happen, however, the man is suddenly killed from behind. No nudity. A man refers to a woman as a whore and a slut several times. Immediately after finding out his wife had been murdered, a man simply says he can easily get another hole to sit on his cock. Violence and gore, 10 out of 10. Being that Legacy is a revenge film, violence should probably be expected. There is a lot of bloody violence and killing scenes in this film in the name of revenge. Mark Sanders himself has said that the film is pretty much non-stop violence. Being that most of the film takes place within one day, some characters have bloodstains and wounds which slowly get slightly worse as the film progresses. We see that two men have been beaten and bruised by soldiers, who take them both away in a car. The beating itself isn't seen, just the aftermath where we see wounds and bruises. A man is shot to death while his best friend is forced to watch. Very bloody, emotional and heartbreaking to watch. In a flashback montage, we see several Vietnamese soldiers murdered in several different ways by a single American soldier during the Vietnam War. Bloody and violent. In the same flashback montage, we see that said American soldier is the sole survivor in his group. We see very bloody corpses of the dead soldiers in his group briefly. In a quick flashback scene, a soldier is heavily bleeding to death. He asks his friend to kill him and end his suffering, to which he does by snapping his neck off screen. A woman is shot through the head, killing her, simply because she wouldn't shut up. A man is beaten to death with a baseball bat. Bloody. An innocent, harmless older man is suddenly and immediately shot in the head and killed. Bloody. A woman in shock is shot through the head and killed in front of a movie theater. A man is shot through the back of the head from behind. 3 teenage boys are suddenly and immediately shot through the head and killed by a young man in a fit of sudden rage. We do not see them as they are shot, just the bloody aftermath. In a flashback, a mother who is beaten and bruised is shot to death 3 times off screen. A completely innocent man and a car salesman are both suddenly shot through the head and killed by 2 men who steal the car just bought by the prior man. A mechanic is suddenly shot through the head and killed for what seems like no real reason. Quite a lot of blood. An ex-soldier along with a bartender are both shot and killed in a bar. Very bloody. A car detonates with 2 men inside after they start the car up. A man shoots another man in both kneecaps for laughing at him. A pregnant woman is suddenly stabbed in the stomach by a man, killing her baby. The woman quickly bleeds to death herself. 2 kids are shot to death off screen with an AK-47. We see the bloody aftermath when their father sees them. A man is stabbed in the neck from behind. Lots of blood pours out. Another man is suddenly shot through the head and killed from behind. A woman is coldly and hatefully choked to death by another man. 4 men are suddenly shot at, and 3 of them are immediately killed. The one survivor is then shot once more through the head, finally killing him. We see their bodies hung up in a room a little later. 2 soldiers are quickly outsmarted and killed by the man they were intending to kill themselves. A man is shot several times by a machine gun, and he falls through a window rooftop, crashing hard inside the building. He survives, until the building is blown up shortly after. Profanity, 10 out of 10. Fuck, along with its derivatives, is used 66 times. The N-word is used about a dozen times in racial context. Other swears such as bitch, shit, pussy and others are said throughout also. Alcohol, drugs, smoking, 4/10. Two men converse in a bar while having drinks. Frightening, intense scenes. 8/10. The death of Jason's best friend could be upsetting to some.